We are children of this country. We are part of this country. We are the founders of this country. We are the architects of this country. Not the ideology. That's all them. But the physical labor, the mental fortitude, that is built on my ancestors' backs.
In yoga, black and brown people created yoga, and you don't portray anybody that looks like me. So why would I want to support your brand?
When Big Floyd passed away, it sparked the whole world.
Everybody can't be the Malcolm X. Everybody can't be a soldier in the war or in the fight. Everybody not built like that.
I've been black. I'ma die black. I've been about blackness in my work. I've been about centering blackness in my work. I've been about helping black people.
It's a human problem as well. Like, if you're okay with seeing people treated like that, you have to question your own humanity at the end of the day.
Reality has now set in for me because I am a mother and I do have a black son. And I keep replaying the phrase in my mind, what happens when my beautiful black boy goes from cute to a threat? What am I supposed to do? I can't protect him from everything.
I think this black life matters and wants to continue to matter. So I have work to do to better make sure that I make the black people before me proud and the black people after me proud.
And even right now, it kind of feels bad to create content if it doesn't have anything to do with what's going on right now as far as, you know, Black Lives Matters, the killings, the police brutality.
This is the cookout that people have been inviting white people to since however long. This is that cookout right here. So make sure that you're present, you know what I mean, and bring something with you.
Hey you guys, welcome back to part 2, Mini Skirt Knows Many Things X 100 Projects, the 6-month update review with your favorite creatives and entrepreneurs around the DMV. Now, there's a saying, epic things start with humble beginnings. And let's be clear, 2020 has been nothing short of a humbling experience for everyone. I really want you guys to walk away empowered and inspired that everything that's happening right now is going to come together for our good. And in 2021, it's all up from here. And please just remember that there's always a silver lining in everything. There's a blessing in disguise. And as long as you're optimistic and you choose to look at the cup half full and not half empty, you will get to where you need to go. So let's jump on right into part 2, y'all.
I think the blessing in disguise that I noticed early on, again, was just stillness. This idea that we needed to rethink and reimagine why our value was so inextricably connected to our productivity. And just knowing that we were good, period, whether we created another thing or not.
The pause with quarantine has not really affected my goals per se. I would say that it's made me go harder. I've been teaching, literally I've taught more than I was pre-quarantine, and that's such a blessing. It showed me that I can really do anything. At first I was like, I'm not doing virtual, that's not for me. Woo, honey, I got that Zoom professional account, okay? Zoom has been a lifesaver. Zoom, Instagram Live has been a blessing, amazing. I taught my first Instagram Live class in like 3 weeks. Like a month on Juneteenth, and so many emotions. I've been getting new opportunities. I just appreciate everything that's coming my way.
With being furloughed, it's giving me an opportunity to rest. Being a mom and then having a 9-to-5 and then going after your goals. It's a full-time job within itself. Man, I have learned so much about my child since COVID has hit. I've been able to spend more time with her ever, honestly. And that was a blessing in disguise for me.
The pandemic basically made me even more grateful for working and having an outlet, because dealing with your child 24/7, and I'm gonna be completely honest, is exhausting. Like, working is my outlet from my child, and I'm not ashamed to say that. So COVID did pause my timeline, but I'm not even necessarily mad about that because that was a blessing in disguise. I was actually able to expand and into something bigger and greater than what I even had imagined. I felt like, looking back in retrospect, maybe I was thinking too small on a small scale, but now it's like my eyes wide open, my nose wide open. So quarantining actually allowed me to focus and really educate myself and just learn all aspects of the business.
You know, when I think of a silver lining moment as far as the quarantine is concerned, like I was able to reevaluate, you know, the program, the On Man Time program. I had to completely revamp that because of the quarantine. I actually moved it forward. Like I wasn't planning to start when I started, and that's, you know, that's probably been my proudest moment, you know, in the last few, you know, last couple years, honestly. Not only is it our first time having it, other people are able to hear it. It's like intimate conversation, and it's kind of like a therapy thing. So I'm learning from all of these different guys, you know what I mean, all of these different life experiences and stories, and, you know what I'm saying, it was vulnerable moments on there, and like, it was dope, and I feel like people needed to hear that, and people needed to see that. I'm just so proud of just that part, and this is super early, like this is the very earliest stage, but I'm so proud of the impact that we were able to have in the first round of conversation. It wouldn't have happened like that if it wasn't for quarantine, so it's been like a real gift and a curse, you know what I mean? I had to revamp it to a virtual platform because it was going to be in person initially, but I'm glad it happened this way so people could see it for free and get it, you know, an idea of what we're going to be doing moving forward.
We had almost 200,000 deaths from COVID. But this is when they want to open outside back up. They say now is the time. When you open back outside, you got to deal with the ramifications of the people that have been affected. The police officers that for 3-4 months haven't been able to reach quota, haven't been able to exercise their own personal demons, some of them. They couldn't wait. As soon as the gates opened back up, they was back to pulling niggas over again, and even worse, killing them. And so we saw it first with Ahmaud Arbery, young man, who was just jogging, going for a jog, hunted down in the middle of the street. Then we see Breonna Taylor at home in bed with her fiance. They come in, no knock warrant, plainclothes unit, just start shooting. And then we got George Floyd. Now for me, obviously that's personal because it's my name. We probably somewhere kin in there, mixed up. But the reality is, when he died, it was like, enough is enough. That's the cry you hear everybody saying, enough is enough. With the riots or the revolts or the protests or whatever you want to call them, the rebellion. It's what I call it, the rebellion. Just like they did with the Boston Tea Party. Just like they've done every time this country has ever wanted its freedom, they went out and fought for it. They rebelled against the system that was holding them back. And so we're no different. We are children of this country. We are part of this country. We are the founders of this country. We are the architects of this country. Not the ideology. That's all them. But the physical labor, the mental fortitude, that is built on my ancestors' backs. And so when now you have outside opening back up, I knew, like many people knew, that they would try to go get their blood quenched. They gonna make a Breonna Taylor law, but still no justice for Breonna Taylor's family. In Atlanta at the Wendy's, young man was just shot in his back. The police go stand over top of him, kick his body. Right, we seen Sean, who was running. He was on Facebook, and he say, "Man, somebody come meet me. They trying to kill me." He get out the car, start running. They shoot him in his back. Now, people don't talk about some of these stories because they say, "Oh, this guy was drunk," or "That guy was running from the police." Yeah, I was running from the police because I knew they was gonna kill me like they killed me when they got a chance to. So you damned if you do, damned if you don't. Right? People want to go fight. They say you fighting the wrong way, you protesting wrong, you doing this, doing that. I say ain't no wrong way, ain't no right or wrong.
This race war that has gone on, calling out these white brands. In yoga, black and brown people created yoga, and you don't portray anybody that looks like me, so why would I want to support your brand? So this has given me an opportunity to become an activist, to step more fully into my power of serving people, serving my community, and use my voice for the greater good of those involved.
There there were multiple awakenings happening during this whole time. And I think that, you know, spiritually, this is a shift, right? We're in a shift and we're kind of living in what I've been calling the after. Things will never be the same. We're not going to go back to business as usual. Too many things have been unearthed and unpacked during this time. I've been black. I'm going to die black. I've been about blackness in my work. I've been about centering blackness in my work. I've been about helping black people. None of those things are changing. I think what has changed is other people's awareness. This is what we need to be on, that this is the wave that we needed to be on. But I'm excited. I'm excited for people to return to themselves. I'm excited for people to remember who we are as a people.
And everybody need to support black owned. You know, we need to have our own capital black owned. We just need to be black now. Like, everything need to be black. Everything. All the companies we supported that's non-black, they understand it. They understand that 100% of their company is black dollar. My purpose is to bring the awareness to you know, donate to certain places, to keep blind black. Just use my platform as a podcaster. Just use my platform. We try to interview certain people when things get back to normal, and you know, that's it.
This rebellion, this uprising is needed. It is the blessing in disguise. The pandemic was needed. It is the blessing in disguise. And I think that, you know, in the words of Dick Gregory, recess is over.
My only hope is that we don't, you know, that we have the stamina to fight this fight, because it's not going to be a short one. And I know a lot of people in our generation specifically have issues, you know, staying focused on one task for long periods of time. So, like, this is definitely going to be a challenge for us. Anything that makes us uncomfortable, that's not easy. Often we shy away from it, but this is not the one. We don't have that luxury anymore. But everybody has a role to play, I think. Everybody has a role to play, and you just have to figure out what that role is for you. It might not be on the front lines. It might not be at the protest. We need as many people as possible. There's no job too small or too big. There's more than enough work to go around, for sure.
Right? People want to go fight. They say you fighting the wrong way. You protesting wrong. You doing this, doing that. I say ain't no wrong way. Ain't no right or wrong. We need it all. Burn that shit down if you want. Peacefully protest like Yoda if you want. Read a book. Repost. Retweet. Whatever you got to do. Because this fight is a personal fight. It starts with the person that you're looking at right in the mirror. That's for white, that's for black, that's for everybody. We can't say Black Lives Matter, we killing black people, we disrespecting black women. They can't say Black Lives Matter and just change a little hashtag or this or that, but don't change nobody in the corporate office. Don't help pass no legislation that's going to benefit us. We can't let anybody, black, white, yellow, or green, get away with just saying some catchphrase and not doing the real work.
Everybody can't be the Malcolm X. Everybody can't be a soldier in the war or in the fight. Everybody not built like that.
I think we all at some point think about how we can make an impact or make a change. I'm not a person of hate at all. I love people regardless of your race. I don't like to beget hate with hate. Some of us are not on the front lines. We can't be present at the protests, but it doesn't mean that we're not doing things behind closed doors.
Just make sure you show up some type of way. But make sure you rest. Make sure you quarantine yourself. Make sure you fill into your cup. Make sure you honor your vessel, because if your body is weak and you don't have that energy, you're not going to be able to show up. So there's always a calm before the storm. There's always the sun that shines after the storm. Storms don't last forever. So I'm optimistic about how things are going to change. Our new normal.
Everyone a series of questions, you know, from COVID to how things affect their lives, to the stimulus check, so on and so forth. You know, as a creator, I have to be intentional about where I decide to insert myself. The bigger part for me during this time was really asking God, where do I come in? Like, what do you want me to do? I think we all understand that everyone plays a different role. And I think for the greater good of our community, that we tap in to figure out where we're supposed to be. And so I did that. God spoke back to me just saying, you know, really tap in to your purpose and storytelling, and, you know, really making sure that I'm experiencing things on a deeper level so that I'm able to resonate with people. The next step for me, however, is to tell our stories on a higher level. It's important that I'm mindful of the hidden agendas and supporting and protecting my people at all costs. And when I look at what happened with Nick Cannon and his comments being perpetuated in a way that's not fair. We're all chasing knowledge. I think that no one's perfect. And so when you talk about someone who's cultivated our culture, that's created some great content from Wild 'N Out to taking on Nipsey Hussle's Dr. Sebi documentary, you talk about a mover and shaker, and I think that we have to protect him. And I think that we have to protect each other. You're not gonna tell me that in the same society where the Louisville Police Department is not being held accountable for the death of Breonna Taylor, that Nick Cannon's misstep warrants the fact that he no longer has a job with CBS and Viacom, or having everything stripped away from him. Like, that, what sense does that make? So, as a Black community, we just really need to do a better job of showing up for each other and being less critical. I think the biggest takeaway for me is when you invest in yourself early, don't sell a part of your company or your vision because in that moment you need the money. I think the biggest part is we're going to be successful. We're going to get it out the mud. We're going to see this thing through to fruition. With that being said, don't let nobody come into your program and say, hey, if I invest, now they're owning more of your shit than you are. Like, come on, y'all. Like, I want everybody to be very intentional about the businesses you start, the services you start, the production companies you start, the visions you bring to the table, and know your worth. And know your worth. Because at the end of the day, we can't allow people to come in and strip us of our titles when it's unfair. And so I think it's important that we continue to be fair to ourselves, we honor ourselves, we uplift each other, and just kind of, you know what I'm saying, continue to be movers and shakers. I think that's my role. I think my role is, as they say, the job of an artist is to reflect the times. And, you know, I can just only pray that as I move and go forward, that I continue to do that. And that I'm, you know, just a beacon of light. And that I reflect God's love and his power in the kingdom of God. And that's all I can really do. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this 6-month update, because though we got deep, it was really, the point was really to just, you know, empower and inspire and remind us of where we're headed and that light at the end of the tunnel. You know, it's August now. We're going to blink and it'll be Christmas. And if anybody gets to the end of the year and you don't end up accomplishing what you set out to do in 2020, I want you to be encouraged that this year was preparation, and that it is preparation for greater. 2021 will be the harvest from the seeds that you've sown this year. So continue just to stay encouraged and press in and trust the process and trust God's timing on your life. We all went through 2020. We're all going through 2020 together. Nobody's shit came out the way they wanted. So at the end of the day, all we can do is continue to try, move forward, and honestly, be all black. It's all black everything. So you guys, I'll see you soon. I plan on doing an 100 Projects mixer, hopefully before my birthday, but I'll keep you posted. It's 100 Projects. Mini Skirt knows many things. I'm your girl, Mini Skirt Mert, and I'm going to see you next time.